All right, hello everybody. JT Siskowski with Status Coup. I'm here in the town of Cicero, just outside of Chicago. It is one of the most heavily Latino communities in the state of Illinois, and it has seen a lot of ICE raids and other harassment by federal agents under the Department of Homeland Security as the Trump administration ramps up its Operation Midway Blitz here in the city, which is an attempt to crack down on immigrants here in these communities. We've seen ICE agents patrolling around in unmarked vehicles, in disguised vehicles, trying to picking up people who are just out doing their laundry, food cart vendors, for having no other crimes other than just being in this country. What you're seeing here over my right shoulder is a protest outside of J. Sterling Morton School District 201. This is a student-organized protest. They are protesting their administration for not adequately supporting and protecting Latino students and their families. We're going to hear from several speakers in just a few moments, and we'll be interviewing some of these students about the world that they are currently growing up in and the country that they stand to inherit. But first, I wanted to give you a few updates on some of the stories that we've been following as we've been on the ground here in Chicago for the last 3 weeks. The first update that I want to give you is that the Trump administration last night filed for an immediate stay of the district judge's order Thursday that barred the federal government from nationalizing National Guard troops and deploying them here in the state of Illinois. We had seen units from California, Texas, and Illinois were going to be deployed here. We saw some patrolling outside of the Broadview ICE processing facility, where we have gone live several times. And in addition to seeing those National Guard troops out there, we went down. We've seen all kinds of tactics from the Trump administration, militarizing their own police forces and the like. But a federal judge a few days ago halted the Trump administration for 2 weeks from using the National Guard here on the streets of Chicago and anywhere in the state of Illinois. But now the Trump administration asking for an immediate stay on that ruling. And what that means is essentially they want a pause on the ban of National Guard troop use while these court proceedings play out, meaning the Trump administration would be able to continue to use National Guard troops here in the state of Illinois if the judge grants that ruling. So now we're just waiting to see what will the judge do in this case. This is a direct quote from the Trump administration's appeals motion. Quote, "The district court entered an extraordinary order enjoining the president from federalizing and deploying the National Guard to protect federal officers in Illinois from violent attacks and to protect federal property from further damage. This court should grant an immediate administrative stay and a stay pending appeal, just as the Ninth Circuit did after a district court enjoined the federalization of the National Guard members in Los Angeles." What I'll note there is that this particular judge in this case has found that the Trump administration, their narratives have not been credible. The stories that we've seen coming forward out of ICE, I'm going to illustrate at least one more example here in just a moment, but they have found that the Trump administration is not reliable in the facts that it is putting before the courts. So we will see if the judge rises to the bait that the Trump administration is putting out there and institutes the stay that the Trump administration is asking for. Some other things from the authoritarian beat, but not necessarily directly connected to what is happening here in Chicago, but yet is action that is taking place here, taking place in our country right now, is that more than 4,000 federal employees have been given layoff notices as the government shutdown continues. The Trump administration revealed that in a recent court filing, and President Donald Trump vowed to target those that he thinks are somehow directly connected to the Democratic Party. So reduction in force letters have gone out to employees at the Department of Commerce, Education, Energy, Commerce, Health and Human Services, Housing and Urban Development, Homeland Security, and Treasury, according to spokespeople for those departments, and union representatives and sources directly impacted. I'll note that the American Federation of Government Employees, who represents many federal workers, has said that it is going to challenge some of these layoffs in court. Trump said late Friday afternoon that he plans to fire a lot of federal workers in retaliation for the government shutdown, vowing to target those deemed to be aligned with the Democratic Party. Treasury and Health and Human Services saw the highest number of reductions, with more than 1,000 workers laid off from each department. There are also two major ICE-related attacks here in the Chicagoland area. The first, this is reporting from The Guardian, but masked ICE agents violently arrested a local Chicago WGN producer. That's a local news station here in Chicago, Debbie Brockman. She's a U.S. citizen. There's some viral video going around of her arrest, calling out to the people who are videotaping her, saying, "My name is Debbie Brockman. I work for WGN." The ICE agents could clearly hear her, as so could the camera. And she screamed to a bystander her name and said, "I work for WGN. Please let them know." She was later released, but a Department of Homeland Security press contact had said that had accused Brockman of assaulting federal law enforcement by throwing objects at a vehicle. And yet Brockman released without charges. So this goes to that a problem of credibility that the Trump administration is showing in its operations out here in Chicago. It's saying one thing in the moment after some clip goes viral of their horrendous actions out here in the city. They try to justify it, saying whatever they can, throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what sticks, and then when the facts come out after the fact, nearly every single time it seems, it's being shown that the federal government's version of events not necessarily trustworthy. Local resident Nancy Molden told the Chicago Sun-Times that it was absolutely horrifying, quote unquote, to see Brockman's arrest in person. Quote, "That was the most frightening thing I have seen in Chicago living here for 20-odd years." Video showed onlookers shout at the agents and call them fascists, telling them to get out of our neighborhood and get out of our city. The agents got into a van and scraped the side of another car whose driver was still inside as they sped off, tearing off part of its bumper. And in a separate incident, Trump ICE agents rammed into a passing car after snatching someone and then brutally dragging the female driver out of the car that they hit. ICE agents plowed into another vehicle and then arrested the woman who they hit, drawing her out of her own car with guns drawn. And her brother says that she is a citizen. So again, we are here outside of the J. Morton School District 201 office buildings for this demonstration that's being hosted by, it's being organized, hosted by kids here in the district, saying that their district administration here in the town of Cicero and some of the surrounding communities that this district serves are not adequately rising to the moment to protect their students and protect their families as ICE agents are moving through this heavily Hispanic community and grabbing people off the street. So you can hear a lot of the support that they're getting from the honking of passing cars and the chants that they are leading. We're going to make our way across the street now because we are expecting them to soon start speeches, and we'll be getting some interviews with the students as well about what it's like right now to live in this country. But before I do so, I want to say, if you value this on-the-ground reporting that we have been doing for the last going on 3 weeks now, please go to statuscoup.com/join. Give us $5 a month. Goes to keep us here on the ground. We don't leave. We've seen national media parachute in and then immediately leave, chasing every shiny object. We stay here in these communities, hearing from these voices, from these disempowered voices that are doing everything in their power to fight back against an administration, a federal administration that has nearly limitless resources. If you think that reporting is valuable, please do what you can. Support us. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to make our way across the street now. You can hear all of that support out here for these students and their protest. Music, the cheers, the chants they are leading. All right, so I am standing here with Yoselin, who is one of the protest organizers. Yoselin, let's first get some just basic information from you. If you could spell your name for us, and then tell me like how old you are. I'll hold the microphone for you.
Yes, you spell my name Yocelyn.
Yes. And what grade are you in right now? How old are you?
Right now, I'm a junior and I'm 16 years old.
And you help organize all of this scene, all this noise, all of these signs, everything that we're seeing here. There's a pretty impressive display for early for a Saturday morning. And I wanted to know, why did you feel like this is something that you needed to do?
So this was all put together in 2 days. On a random Saturday evening, I was just like, I want to do something because this is not right. This is sad. This is not correct morally. It's just upsetting to see. And
let's pause for a moment and just go over this. You keep saying this is upsetting to see. Really spell out for our audience. What is this? Like, what are you really out here protesting?
More than not protecting its students. They should be here. They should give us resources to help their kids, to help their community. They have been here for years, and all of a sudden they don't want to connect to like students' concerns. They don't want to respond. They want to say it's hyperbole. It's not correct. It's not right.
What are some of those student concerns that you feel that they're not responding to?
There has been multiple students who have contacted them about ICE being outside the schools, about them not protecting their immigrant students. See, none of those resources have been given to them, and it's upsetting to see because schools should be able to provide that. Morton's memo is they want to give out to students, and their main priority to students. And after the student board meeting, after all this, after they dismissed all the students' cries, this is where we've had enough.
And I know that you talked about it not being not responsive to the community's needs. Can you walk through our audience how heavily of a Hispanic community this is? What kind of actions you've seen ICE doing here in the town of Cicero?
So ICE has been all over Cicero, Berwyn, and it's upsetting because our families are scared to go to work. They're scared to provide for their families. The Morton district in total population is 93% Hispanic.
Mm-hmm. And so what are some of the actions that you've tried to take as students, that faculty have tried to take to equip folks with the tools they need to feel safe in this moment as they're being targeted by the federal government?
So staff and family members have stood outside Morton West giving out Know Your Rights flyers, and they had the police called on them. Students have went to the student board meeting on, correct me if I'm wrong, Friday, and they totally dismissed their cries and concerns. And multiple students have emailed them, has raised their concerns, has been in their comment sections, have done everything possible to get their attention, but they refuse to acknowledge the situation.
So what was the response from your fellow classmates when you raised the idea of organizing a protest like this?
This was all done on a whim. The first thing that came to mind was posting a video of myself speaking on the situation. I've got 80,000 views on that video on my Instagram account. I've reached out to multiple news sources, and everyone is so supportive. Like, it heals my heart to see that my community is here standing with me. Like, this means so much to me, and I know it does not only mean so much to me, but means so much to everyone. And it warms my heart to see that everyone wants to stand together and everyone wants to be here during these hard times.
When I was 16, organizing something like this was not in the first 10 things on my mind. I want you to really give a sense to our audience, like, I mean, what would you rather be doing right now? I assume you don't want to have to be worrying about ICE, profiling you, profiling your friends, your family. What are ways that you would rather be living your life as a 16-year-old right now that you're not allowed to because of how the actions that the Trump administration is taking in the Chicagoland area?
I want to live my life safe. I want to go out with my family. I want to go do things with them, but I'm unable to. In school, my only thoughts are if I'm gonna come home and see my family members actually come home and be there. I'm scared that one day I'm not gonna be there. I'm scared to see that some of my classmates are gonna show off of the registration list. They aren't gonna be there anymore. And it shouldn't have to be getting to that point. And as a 16-year-old, honestly, if I was even put in this certain situation in 1,000 lifetimes, I would do the exact same thing because I was given a voice from my beautiful family. I was taught to grow and speak for everyone, for people who can't speak for themselves. And this is what I'm meant to do with my life, to speak up for others, because if they're unable to speak up for themselves, who's going to speak up for them? This is what I'm meant to do. This is my dream. This is my passion. This is all I've ever known. Students shouldn't have to know about politics or anything like that, but politics is all I've ever known since I was little. So this is always going to be my priority. This town is always going to be my main priority because look at what they're doing for me over just an Instagram post. And this warms my heart and it brings me to tears because it just shows, like, no matter through the toughest of times, we will conjoin together. And every student here is standing for not only themselves, but for their family and their community. And that could not mean as much to me as it means to me right now. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about, you had referenced feeling scared being out in your community. I don't know, is there any anger, rage about what the Trump administration is doing, or is it really just fear, that constant looking over the shoulder? Like, really give our audience who might be living in communities where this is not happening as much, what does it feel like on a day-to-day basis to see ICE agents patrolling the streets outside your school? What does that feel like?
I cannot express to you enough how angry I am. It is not fair. It is not fair to the students. It is not fair to the families who have worked so hard to protect our community and build our community. And our officials who are supposed to represent us are not representing us right now. They should be able to provide that safety and everything. I am so angry. I should not have to walk outside and look behind my back every second. I should not have to walk outside and look out for my friends. I should be able to walk outside and be happy. I should be able to walk outside fear-free. And that's not what's happening right now. And it couldn't be a bigger concern than it is right now, because ICE is roaming everywhere. And those thousands of videos, people getting kidnapped. There's recently been media of someone's little sister going missing, and we still have no information on that. Walking home from Morden, and the school has not spoken up about that. They have not reposted anything about that. They have not put media to it about anything, and it's upsetting. I am angry, and I may be scared. I have been scared for the past 2 days. I could not get any sleep because of situations that might happen or anything might happen, but that is fueling me right now. I cannot express to you how angered I am at our community and our police who are not doing everything to protect us, to ICE being here and ripping families apart, to them not helping us. They should be here right now. That's what I expect from them. They should be here right now because they are here to serve their people, and we are their people. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to zoom out a little bit, and I think right now we're in such a point where the Trump administration, every day, they're doing something else, and it's so easy to get bogged down in just the everyday, like every day is a battle to get through right now. But looking further ahead into the future, your future of your friends, any siblings, cousins you might have, the country that you stand to inherit right now, how do you feel about your future?
I will not see anything negative in my future. I feel very positive about my future because I'm going to make who I am. No one else is. No one else is going to stand for me. I am standing for myself. And with everything going on, despite everyone's differences, this is unconstitutional. This is not right. Morally, it's very wrong. This is not anything about politics. This is not anything involving politics. And that is not what I'm here to speak about. I'm here to speak about everything being unconstitutional and everything going wrong right now because it's not correct. This shouldn't be how it is. It is not correct. They are racially profiling people off the streets. And it's upsetting to see. But for everyone's futures here, I could see it very bright. I see a very positive movement. And if this doesn't work, then we'll go out and do it again. We'll do it as many times as we need to get them to listen, to pay attention to our city, our town. Because we should not have to live in fear. People of America should not have to live in fear of stepping outside a door to see their own country going against them. For all we've done, we should have a right to be here. And the school If the school board won't help us, we'll find a different school. We want different board members to represent us and really speak up for their community, because that's what teachers are for. They should be there. We should go to them. We should be able to feel safe. We should be able to feel happy. Like, we go to school to learn, and that's not what we're able to do right now because we're too preoccupied for our safety and our lives right now.
Yeah, you've got a federal government that is certainly not supporting you, you know, talking about making you feel scared in school, in your community. You have a school administration that you feel is not adequately representing you, supporting you in this moment, and trying to at least offer you some form of safety. Who, if anyone, are the adults in your life right now that you are looking to as a point of positive, as somebody who's actually standing up and doing the right thing in this moment?
I want to mention one of my teachers, Miss Manuela Navarro. She has supported me. I had her in my freshman class. Honestly, if it wasn't for her, if I never took that class, I wouldn't be here right now. I owe everything I've done up until this point to her, because she has supported all her students. She has stood up and she told us we need to raise our voices because no one else could. She always asks us a question every single day we walked into this class. How will we be able to advocate for ourselves, our family, and community? And that's what I'm doing right now. Today's the day where I'm able to answer that question right now.
Yeah, I just want to point out for a moment that she is highlighting a teacher in her life that has supported her. The education system, where it gets its little bit of funding, that it actually is able to reach and support students, having a positive impact in your life. And I just want to call that out because in interview after interview we have done with people here in the Chicagoland area where we have asked them what kind of investments do they want to see, if the federal, what should the federal government actually be spending its money on rather than ICE agents that make them feel less safe in their homes. There are two themes that have come up repeatedly. One is healthcare, but two, and much more relevant to where we are right now, is education. People have wanted much more robust investment in education to actually support students, support the community. And I apologize for getting on that soapbox there. Yeah. Yeah, good. All right. Yeah, good. Okay. So, what should folks out here for folks here in what should we be expecting watching this? What should we be expecting for the rest of this demonstration?
We are trying to do everything very peaceful. We are trying to just spread awareness. This is not about just going against the district. This is about putting attention to our town because everyone's scared. No one's able to advocate for themselves. But I will tell you one thing. Every student here cares about their families at home watching this because they are unable to be here right now. And that's what really matters to me. And all of these, it's mostly students, and that could not make me happier because they are here representing our families who have stood here before us, advocating for everyone and their families and their communities. But we will be here as long as we need to get as much as attention we need, because this is something that we need fixed. We do not need a superintendent who does not care about its students here with us. That is not what we need right now, and we demand them to find someone who is willing to stand with us through these hard times.
I think it's unfortunate in these moments that, you know, our camera, other cameras only show up when everything's going wrong, right? So I want to give you the chance to paint a picture. What is the town of Cicero, Berwyn, some of these other communities that are served by the district? What are they like? What is it like here? What's it like to live here when you don't have ICE agents terrorizing the communities, tearing around streets in unmarked vehicles, picking up people randomly, profiling people? What is this community like? Like, let's get a sense for the real joys out here.
It's a beautiful community. No matter how people decide to stereotype us or say anything, I've grown up here. I've lived here all my life. And I've appreciated every single individual here. And it's upsetting that it has to get to this point because all the parades we have, all the carnivals we have, thousands of people showed up. These streets would have been full, but they were empty because people were scared, and it should not be that way. And seeing that was so upsetting. It broke my heart, and I'm sure it broke thousands of people's heart. Everyone here in this community will never even flinch to help every single individual here. Like, I could name so many things that the community has done for each other, supporting its students, even parades, anything like that. But that cannot happen right now because we're scared. This community is beautiful. I could not name an even better community than this. And people may stereotype us as dangerous or anything. We do not need help here. We are fine. But now we are scared. We're hiding, and it's not correct. It's terrifying. And it shouldn't be like this, because the community is a beautiful community, and I cannot advocate that statement more than I am right now.
I'm struck by the fact that you're at a point in your life where you should not have to worry about this. You should be focused on your education, on just being, being you. Like I'm just thinking back to like what I got to do. Like I did not have to worry about this in my community at the time that I was 16. And I'm just thinking about all the fun that I had that your friends should be out having right now, not holding protests, but you feel like you have to in this moment. Is there any like sense of loss? Like, do you feel a childhood lost at all in this moment? I mean, are you being asked to mature in this moment, or have you and your fellow students always been equipped, ready to act like this?
For the longest time, I've been so mature and so positive about everything, and no matter through these, I'm gonna repeat this again. Politics is all I've ever known, and kids should not have to worry about that. But you know what? This is the way it is, and this is the way it's going to be. And I am not gonna complain about it, not even once, because I am happy to be here. This makes me happy. I would rather be doing this every other day than going out to do anything, because I am advocating for my community and my family, and that is what I hold to my heart the most out of anything.
You say politics is all I've ever known. I mean, is that just because of where you live, who you are? Like, what makes you say like politics is all I've ever known?
My identity, my skin color, the way I talk, the way I speak, my accent, everything. It's all, the second I was born into this race, the second I was born into this community, politics has become my main priority. And I can speak and I could advocate for everyone here and say it's been the same for everyone. This should not be a concern. This should not be the situation we are in right now. But it is okay, because I'd rather be out here showing off and being in front of everyone's faces despite the consequences than be hiding in a little shell and being afraid. They are not going to make me afraid. They cannot make us hide. They cannot silence our voices no matter what they say.
Justin, thank you so much for talking to us. I end every interview with the same question. One, is there any question I haven't asked you that I should have? Anything I haven't given you the opportunity to say that you would like to? Or barring that, any parting thoughts you would want to leave with our audience while you had the platform?
I would like to say every school out there should advocate for their students and their community. Every school should be able to make their students safe, and especially in Chicago, I'm trying to advocate for not just Cicero, but Chicago everywhere. Everyone should be able to feel safe. Everyone should be able to walk free without looking behind their backs. Every student should be able to go to school and learn, because that's what school is for. School is a resource so we can go in there and feel safe. It should be sanctuary, just like millions of other places that are getting violated right now. I want to say we need to stand up for our parents. To every teenager who is scared and wants to speak out, do not be afraid, because your voice should be heard. Everyone should be heard. Latinos run Morden. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
So if you want to get contact, then I'll get some B-roll here. Hey, you were awesome. That's okay.
do a little bit of a reset. All right, everybody, if you've just joined us here in the last few minutes, I want to give you a sense for where we are right now. This is the town of Cicero, which is one of the most heavily Hispanic communities in all of the state of Illinois. It's just outside Chicago, shares a border with the city of Chicago. We are outside the offices of the J. Sterling Morton School District 201, and these are students, adults, families connected to that school district. They are out here protesting their school district administration because they feel like their administration is not adequately rising to the moment to help protect students and protect families in this moment where ICE has been out heavily in this community, picking people up, profiling people, splitting apart families, splitting apart communities, these themes that we have brought you in interview after interview, in every live scene that we have shown you here in the Chicagoland area over the last going on 3 weeks now. We just heard some of the incredible passion with which these students are speaking. We heard a student just a moment ago say over and over again, politics is all I've ever known. Politics is all I've ever known. She was 6 when Donald Trump was elected to his first term. She has grown up in that world where immigration is this issue for the right, where they are using it as a cudgel to break apart the working class and try and point that your problem is not with your boss, your problem is not with some billionaire who is siphoning billions of dollars out of the economy just to sit on it and hoard wealth for the sake of hoarding wealth. No, those same bosses, those same billionaires pumping money into the right-wing political machine in order to paint immigrants as some problem here in these communities. And now kids growing up in that world saying that's all I've ever known, forced to organize protests like this to try and get even the most basic of actions out of their school districts. Right now, we're going to walk over where we're hearing one of those students speak on a bullhorn. I believe they're just walking through, how to peacefully protest. But we want to give you let you hear exactly how that sounds.
Because everyone at home who's watching this, I just want to say that they could not appreciate this more. We are not only advocating for ourselves, but for our community and our fellow friends. Thank you.
Yeah, rallying the troops out here, so to speak. There's. So yeah, you see that there are 2 banks of protesters here. They are on either side of Cermak Road. Now getting the call and response chants back and forth. I want to say that you can really feel the energy out here in this crowd. I'm not sure if it comes through the camera. I'm never really sure how much the microphone actually picks up when I'm actually out here in the field, but my God, it is noisy. There's honking cars going past, showing their support for these students, for these families, and you feel the energy here in the crowd, folks out with their signs and having plenty to say about their school district, their local leaders, their state leaders. So yeah, again, we are outside of the J. Sterling Morton School District 201, where students have organized a protest of their local, school district leaders, saying that they are not doing enough to meet the moment here in the town of Cicero, just outside Chicago, as ICE has been patrolling this community, seen outside of their schools, picking up, profiling people, breaking apart families in this moment. They want to see their school district allow them to do more, especially to educate folks on their rights in this moment. They want their school district to not to not punish those who attempt to do so on school property. But really, we came down here because we wanted to hear from these youth voices, these folks who were going to inherit this country, who are being forced to grow up in this political environment right now. And if that perspective is valuable to you, if you see the value, if you appreciate the passion that we are hearing out here, the voices that we are lifting up, these relatively powerless voices, we're talking to teenagers out here who are, exercising the power that they have, which is their voice and their collective action. That's the power that they have in the face of a federal government that has nearly limitless resources at its disposal, given the level of funding that that ICE has in this moment, approved by Congress to come in and victimize these communities. If us doing this, giving them this platform is valuable to you, hearing from these voices what it's like, seeing what it's like on the ground here in the Chicagoland area, if that's valuable to you, please go to statuscoup.com/join. statuscoup.com/join. $5 a month, 16 cents a day goes to support our journalism, keep us here on the ground, which is not a cheap thing to do, to afford hotel rooms, transportation, replacing camera equipment. John and I are spending time away from our families to be able to do this, but we're doing it because it's important. We know it's important. I'm struck out here personally. I'm a new father. My daughter is at home right now. She's 7 weeks old. Lila, if you're watching, please don't give your mom too hard of a time while I'm away. But I'm thinking right now about the world that she is going to inherit. Is she going to grow up just like these kids that we've been talking to? Is she going to grow up in a world where all she knows is politics, where she doesn't get to know the joy of being a kid? And it's something that's heavy on my mind right now. I imagine on yours as well. What kind of world are we leaving for the next generation? That's why we wanted to be down here, hearing from these voices, to actually hear what their experiences are like here on the ground. And what are they telling us? They're telling us that they feel afraid to be in their communities that are otherwise joyous and supporting of them as kids. When ICE is not here, they feel like they have a good childhood. But now with the federal government here, they feel afraid. They're constantly looking over their shoulders. They feel angry. They feel rage about a system that is now designed to victimize them. I'm going to let John here swing the camera and just show the scene again. Hear all that honking. That is Cermak Road. It is a main thoroughfare here in the town of Cicero. So these kids getting plenty of attention, and they are standing right outside their school district offices to put pressure and make their voices heard. And you can certainly hear their voices every time a cheer goes up. I mean, I can barely hear myself think out here. Just for 1 second. Yeah. I'm going to try and find somebody else.
I did have some...
Oh, okay. Do you want us in the sun, in the shade?
Oh, you go right there.
All right. All right. I am standing here with Jose. Jose, just give us a little bit about who you are. How old are you? What grade you in? That sort of thing.
My name is Jose Patino. I'm 16 years old, and I'm a junior in high school.
Got it. Why did you want to be out here today? It's a Saturday. You're out here protesting as a 16-year-old rather than spending your time, with, I guess you are spending it with friends, but I mean, rather than, doing the thing, like I got up to a lot of mischief when I was at high school. You're not out doing that. You're out here. Why do you feel the need to be here on this street corner right now protesting?
Because we as a community are sick of being silenced. We are done with it. Now is our time to speak up. ICE is constantly taking people, and we're not standing for that. We're here, and I'm willing to sacrifice any amount of my time. I'm willing to do whatever to make it clear that we're not going to be silenced, and we do want justice.
You're talking about some of the things that ICE is doing here in Cicero and some of the surrounding communities that are served by this school district. Can you just give us a few examples? What are some of the things that you're seeing in your community right now that ICE, that the federal government is doing?
We're seeing them tackle innocent people who've done nothing. They're constantly hitting them. They're beating them. They're getting put and sent into these places where they're getting put into cages and being mistreated. They're being starved, sexually harassed, everything. They're treating them as if they're animals, and we're not animals. We're humans.
So you say feeling like being treated like animals. How does that make you feel as a person? I mean, what are the emotions that have been going through your mind over the last weeks, months now that the Trump administration has been enacting this immigration policy on your community? What are the emotions you're feeling?
Anger. I've been so angry. I can't even go on Instagram, go on Facebook without seeing it. And it's just so angry to see that this is my community. These are my people that are getting taken so rudely and so unethical, While we've seen the Biden administration do this, we've seen the Obama administration, the way they handled it was more humane. With Trump, he's just treating us as monsters. With Obama, he at least let us, get our lawyer. He had us our rights. With Trump, he doesn't care.
Can you walk us through, you've used words like being treated like monsters, like animals, inhuman. Let's put a real human face on this community. What's it like when you don't have the heavy-handed immigration crackdown, the border, like the occupation of your community with a militarized police force the way we've seen here over the last several weeks and months? What is this community like in those times when you're not under such an oppressive authoritarian regime here? Give us a sense of what this community can be.
It's very peaceful. Before all of this, it was peaceful. You would never see a protest like this because we were so happy with the community we live in, and hardly anything was going on other than regular crimes that always happen. So we would never have to do this, but doing this now, it's just so sad to see what our community is now compared to what it was. While it's strengthening us, it's sad because we have to come together because of things like this, Yeah.
You say it's sad because of things like this. This being I assume the ICE raids here in the city. What about what you're seeing from your local leaders? Are they rising to this moment? Are they helping support the community as we're seeing federal leaders come in and just profile people, arrest people? Are you seeing the kind of leadership that you want to see from your local leaders in this moment?
No. If I'm going to be honest, no. Our town president, Larry Dominic, he's been completely silent. He hasn't done anything. The only person that's fighting for us in this moment is J.B. Pritzker down in Chicago. Other than that, it's clear our city doesn't care about us. None of them are out here. You don't see none of Larry Dominic's team out here assisting us when they should be. This is their town. They should care for us. They should care about the people getting taken, and they're not. So it's clear they don't care.
We've heard from a lot of demonstrators, not only here in the town of Cicero, but out in Broadview at the ICE facility out there, downtown, some of these other neighborhoods that we visited over the several weeks that we've been out here reporting. Sentiments very similar to what you just said. We want our leaders out here. Why is that important? What message does it send to actually see your town board president out here, protesting alongside you? What is why would that give you more heart, more strength?
Because it would show he actually cared. Being out here, if he was right next to me right now protesting, it would make me want to vote for him in other elections, it would help him out not only politically, but it would just help out the community to show that we have someone who's actively caring for us and actively caring for the students who are being silenced.
Actively silenced? In what way?
Well, every time we speak up, there was a town board meeting. I went and I spoke and I let out the message that we want them to speak up and we're sick and tired of like the way they're being ran. And they decided to completely stay silent. They didn't say a single thing. They just stared at us as if we were crazy for speaking up.
So what would leadership from them in this moment look like?
Actively doing something. You see other school districts and they have plans if ICE is outside the school. Morden East has nothing. They don't care. They'll say that the cafeteria is open till 7, but they say due to the weather or unforeseen events. Why can't they be honest and say that ICE was outside of our building for those who, like, you know, people didn't know that. They assumed that the weather was bad. Those students would have went out there, and what if they would have got taken? Like, you know?
Yeah, we've also seen here, like, I also, just for our audience's benefit, town of Cicero, this school district, very heavily Latino, 90% or thereabouts Latino. I'm curious about your family in this moment, because we're seeing the Trump administration profile people. I mean, how is your family handling this moment right now?
I feel like they're handling it as every family could. You know, we're all in fear, but we all have to find a way to live our lives day by day. And I think that's how they're handling it.
Do you feel like you get to be a kid in this moment?
No. As soon as I was born into this world, problems were going on. And it's always like this. There's always problems. I can't have time to live my childhood because I have to be the people out here standing up for my community because it's clear no one else wanted to.
Kids saying that they have to stand up for themselves, for their community, because their leaders, others in their lives, the people that they look to, are not standing up for them in this moment. Saying, I don't get to have a childhood. I don't have that luxury because of the time, the place in which I was born. The fact that we cannot give support, the richest country in the history of the world cannot give kids a childhood, I think should enrage everyone. And that's the emotion that I am feeling right now in this moment. I apologize a little bit for taking the spotlight off of you, but sometimes I think that I just need to highlight some of these certain moments. What are, let's talk about what would a better world for you look like? And maybe a better first question before we get to that is, are you optimistic about the future that you stand, that you're walking into, the country that you stand to inherit? Is it optimism, pessimism? How are you feeling about the future right now?
Scared. I'm honestly scared, and I'm frightened. If this is what Trump is doing now, and he's only a couple months into his first, the first year of his 4 years, what is there? What else is he gonna do? Like, it's clear people are trying to impeach him. We've tried back then in his first term. Nothing happened. So is he going to stay here? And what else is he going to do? What else is he going to do to torment our communities? You know, so I'm very frightened for our future. Our rights are constantly being taken every day. It's horrible. I'm frightened. Everyone's frightened. I guarantee if you ask anyone here, they're scared. We're all scared. But we have to hide that fear and come out to support.
So right now, your generation, what we're looking at for the future is we're seeing highest rates of unemployment right now are among recent college graduates. We've got AI that is taking away a lot of entry-level jobs. These are just some of the economic problems that you guys are going to run into here in the next few years as you continue on the paths of your life. Leaving aside climate change, global warming, the impact that that's going to have on your planet, and all of that almost kind of pales in comparison to the immediate concerns of just people being disappeared off of the streets here. What are the actions that you want to see from your leaders in this moment? How could they step up to actually be supportive in a way that would allow you to maybe enjoy these last few years that you have before you're going to be, out in the adult world fully? If folks watching this were inspired to action to want to give you a childhood, what should they be doing right now? What are the policy changes that you feel like would set you up for a better future?
Honestly, it's hard to say because there's so much going on, and there's more that I'm unaware of at this moment. There's things going on right now. But if people do want to help us, give us this childhood that we so eagerly want, they should be here protesting with us. We need people to come out. We need to show that we're a giant group of people who are not afraid to speak up and say what we actively want for ourselves.
Yeah, Absolutely. And that's a theme that we have heard repeatedly again from protesters that we have talked to, is they want more people in the streets. They want more agitation. They want the voice so loud, the collective action so solid in its solidarity that it cannot be ignored. And certainly this is a huge step in that direction. I mean, what do you see the future of this movement? You guys have organized one hell of a protest out here today. What does it look like going forward? Do you think you can continue this momentum, and how will you?
I definitely feel like we will. As to how will we, we're not sure yet. We definitely have to think and plan and organize more than this. We want to be thankful to our donors, the Cicero Berwyn Rapid Response Relief. They donated us money to help us get all of this stuff for the people so no one goes hungry, no one is thirsty, no one, But as far as steps moving forward, we're not sure. But we know we have to do something now to keep up this momentum.
Jose, thank you for talking to me. I end every interview with the same question, which is there any question I haven't asked you that I should have? Anything I haven't given you the opportunity to say that you would like to while you have this platform? And barring that, any just parting thoughts that you would want to leave with our audience?
I would say free our people and free Palestine.
Thank you very much, Jose. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, another student voice, another young voice out here feeling, again, reiterating that point. They're saying they don't feel like they get to have a childhood because they are being victimized, they are being profiled, they are constantly looking over their shoulder, worrying about their own safety, worrying about the safety of their family, the safety of their community. This is Cicero. This is one of the most heavily Hispanic communities in the state of Illinois, where the Trump administration is currently enacting its Operation Midway Blitz. Blitz being a reference to a strategy employed by the Nazis in World War II. It's not subtle what is happening here in the streets. You see it depicted on social media, on the news every night. Another video of somebody being abducted off the street, a food cart vendor, a journalist picked up simply for videotaping proceedings, people being shot with rubber bullets, with pepper balls, tear gas for exercising their First Amendment rights in this country. And these folks and these kids don't feel like in this environment, and who could blame them, don't feel like they get to be kids. They're born into a world where at 6 years old, Donald Trump is elected president and an immigration crackdown on their communities begins. How is any kid supposed to have a decent life under those circumstances? Just to reset, calm myself down a little bit here. We are outside the J. Sterling Morton School District 201 building, where all of these students, families who attend school in the district are out protesting. The students organize this themselves with some support, and you see dozens of folks spread out here across the street. There's another crowd on the other side of the street. They are out here protesting because they feel like their school district leaders, their local leaders aren't doing enough to stand up to the federal government in this moment as they are being targeted, as their communities are being targeted, made to not feel safe. We're going to go across the street to try and show this crowd from that perspective so you can get a better sense of the scale here. Now you get a little bit better sense of the crowd out here. I would say between the two sides of the street, it's probably about 100 people. Most of them teens, though many adults out here joining them as well. Plenty of signs being held aloft, protesting not only the federal government and its presence here, but also the failure that they feel from their local leaders to respond adequately in this moment. They provided food, refreshments, organized all of this in just a couple of days' time. These are teens who are stepping up and doing this in this moment. We've seen protests like this erupt in neighborhood after neighborhood across the country in response to ICE's actions here in the community. Some of it spontaneous, and just from people feeling so incensed by what the federal government is doing here. You hear all that honking, all that support for these kids here along Cermak Road. in the town of Cicero.
Are we cutting this?
What's that?
We're cutting this? And then the election?
All right, so I've said it over and over again about where we are, but again, if you're just joining us real quick, we're outside of the J. Sterling Morton School District 201 in the town of Cicero. This is one of the most heavily Hispanic communities, around 90% Hispanic in the state of Illinois. And we are out here because these students, parents, families have organized a protest of their local school district leaders, feeling that they are not doing enough in this moment to help support their families, their students, as this community is getting quite a bit of attention from the federal government right now. We're seeing a lot of ICE raids out here, ICE agents rolling around the streets. We were out here just yesterday. We were interviewing one single solid protester who was just standing on a corner by themselves with a sign. ICE rolled up on us, took out a phone and took a picture of us, and then drove off. So you see them out here in this community. We wanted to try and get a voice of a parent? Sister. Yeah. Sister. Family. Yeah, family. So we wanted to get voice from a family member out here about, we've heard from several of the students now, wanted to hear from some of the family about why offering this support is so important. So if I could first start just by getting your name.
Yeah, my name is Ariana.
Ariana?
Yeah, Ariana.
Can you spell that so when we put it below on the screen we got it right?
Ariana.
Got it. And you just told us, I think off mic, I'm not sure if I caught it, but you're a sister of somebody out here, I assume.
Yes.
So, yeah, all right. So walk us through, where do you live right now? Just kind of give us a little bit of your personal background. What community around here do you live in? And what's it like to usually in a normal circumstance when ICE isn't out in such a heavy presence in these communities, what is this community like?
Well, I live in Cicero, and normally it's genuinely peacefully. I mean, people aren't walking with fear, casually being able to go to their stores, shopping, doing their normal day-to-day life. So yeah, it's pretty basic compared to like other, towns and stuff like that. But obviously with everything happening, it's a big adjustment to have and to understand like the heaviness of it all.
Yeah, you referenced in there the sense of like you felt the need to call out that normally people aren't walking down the street with fear.
Yeah.
So let's address that. How are people acting right now? What does it feel like to live in this community today, given that the Trump administration has, just armed, like militarized police force out here in undercover vehicles, snatching people off the streets?
Well, it's definitely giving terrifying, honestly. It's really scary knowing that at any moment you can be taken, whether or not you do have papers, because obviously ICE doesn't care. I think it's just terrifying to see how even the children are so scared. They're out here on a Saturday when they should be, at home, doing their normal stuff. And no, they're terrified. They're scared. They're not having any type of like support or anything like that from their school district. Yeah, it's really terrifying. It's scary. Like going out in the car or whatever, having to be alert, or having to have know your rights cards in your car just in case you get stopped or anything. Or if someone else near you, a community member, also gets stopped or gets taken away, you have to be mentally prepared and ready for anything, and to also be, if you can, to be able to step in and do your best to try to stop any of the violence from continuing,
Why was it important for you to be out here today? You're not someone who is attending the Morton School District. Why was it important to be out here in support of your family member who is?
I think when taking a big step like this, especially against your school, it's really risky. And I think that knowing that you aren't alone within any of these causes that all of us as humans are fighting, it's important to see that you have that support and to have that strength to be able to fight even harder than what you could have fought before, being alone, within it all. And I think it's really important to see that you are cared for, you are seen by the people that want to see you and hear you, to be able to amplify your voice and to, allow it to reach farther than what it should already reach,
Say you feel seen. I heard the word strength in there. What are the emotions that come along with just being in a crowd of people like this who are all speaking with one voice?
It's actually really powerful. It's nice to see that, well, in a way, it's nice to see that we all are fighting for what we need and what we want, what we deserve. Actually, the bare minimum of what we need and deserve in this country. It's powerful to see that, and especially when it comes from the youth. I don't know, it feels promising for a lot of love for the future, rather than all this fear that we're experiencing now.
A sense of optimism is kind of what I'm picking up there. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And certainly I felt that in talking to some of the students earlier. Another thing I was struck by was just the level of maturity from these students. Several of them, a couple of them told me that they don't feel like they've gotten to have childhoods just because of the place and the time in which they were born. As someone, maybe you shared those feelings. You're a little bit older than like the students out here, but I mean, did you have a similar experience growing up, just not feeling like you get to have a childhood, or is there something unique about the time in which we are currently living?
I genuinely think that each generation experiences its own challenges, especially as people of color. We're constantly fighting, no matter what that generation is. I don't think people of color have ever felt a sense of safeness, honestly. I think we try to have that balance for ourselves, where we are here fighting for our rights in the morning, and then maybe later on getting with friends, having a chill movie night or something. At least for me, when I went to this school, we were protesting gun violence. So it's like, each generation has their thing, but they're all interconnected, and it's a continuous fight that we've all been fighting for. So,
yeah, absolutely. Let's think about the next generation coming up behind these kids.
Yeah.
If we wanted to actually afford them a childhood in the way that you feel like you did not get to have, that these kids have said that they did not get to have, what to your mind are the things that we need to address as a society so that the next kids coming up do feel like they get to have that innocence?
I do think that we obviously need to address the systemic racism that we're constantly experiencing. Our rights being constantly taken away. I mean, it comes from the very seed of America, built on racism, slavery. it's a very deep-rooted thing, and I feel like it's going to take everyone to be willing to make that adjustment, to be able to unlearn and relearn what we need to do in order to achieve the childhood that, you know, the kids deserve. I don't know. I feel like it's too broad of a question to even answer. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, but I appreciate you taking an attempt at it all the same. You see, police are showing up here now.
For a student-led protest. Interesting.
Accident.
Oh, there was a car accident. Got it. Sorry, we were a little distracted. A police car had just pulled up. We thought it was for the protest, but no, there was just a car accident here on this corner. So not here for the protest. This seems. I mean, so I'm struck just by how sophisticated this is. You know, for these kids who have pulled off it just a couple of days. How does it make you feel as somebody, you know, related to them, to watch them put this all together and then get this kind of turnout to be able to deliver such a constant, like such a focused message to their leaders?
I think it's amazing. It's powerful within them, like, to have that. I don't know. Again, it's just promising, you know. It makes me look forward to, like, what they'll be capable of doing just as adults, you know. They're only teenagers, so it's really cool to see it, and I'm really proud. And yeah, I feel a lot of, like, love and warmth for sure. Yeah.
Ariana, I won't hold you too much longer, but I do always like to ask: is there any question I haven't asked that I should have? Anything I haven't given you the opportunity to say that you would like to? Anything that you would want to leave our audience with while you have the platform? Or anything about your personal experience that I wouldn't necessarily know to ask about, but you feel like would be relevant in an interview like this?
I mean, definitely Free Palestine. I feel like that's a big one, you know. Countless children getting murdered and killed there. I think that's really important to emphasize. But yeah, and I'm just proud of all the people, you know, everyone who's taking their time to step out, to protest, to boycott, you know, doing their part, educating, you know. I think it's really cool and important, and I'm proud of everybody who's partaking in this. So yeah, that's all.
Ariana, thank you very much. I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you. All right.
Did you see Michelle's last question she wanted to ask?
Oh, no. Oh, Ariana, I have one more question for you. Sorry, this was just sent in by one of our producers who's watching along, and I wasn't reading my text message updates as we were getting here. If you could send a message to ICE agents right now, what would you want to say to them?
There are other jobs you could find. It's possible to lead yourself into a different direction. There's time to recover from what you've done already. I hope you understand that there are second chances, and to be able to willingly do your part. Because obviously, I don't know. I guess there's also a lot of anger, you know, obviously, that they're willingly going out kidnapping people, and in such an aggressive way. I just hope that you sit down and look at your reflection and actually sit with yourself and be like, is this okay? Because, yeah, I can imagine how sleepless they're feeling, you know, at night. Because it's a lot. The human conscience, I feel like, to partake in things like this, knowing that they're tearing families apart. Yeah, I wish you guys better, to be honest. Yeah,
you talk about second chances there. Are you prepared to forgive for what has happened here in these communities?
I would want to. I definitely do think it's going to take a lot of work for me to feel that way. Because obviously you can never forget the trauma that's been placed onto multiple families. But I would like to think that there can be second chances, especially if we want to all want better for everybody and for all the children, you know. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ariana. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me grab you a second time. Thank you. Whew. I do want to note for just a moment, there's some folks out here with cameras. It's tough to tell who is news and who is not. I recognize at least one reporter out here, and I've seen a mic flag for Telemundo as well. But, I mean, where is the media attention on this right now? This is one of the most heavily Hispanic communities in the state of Illinois. We have youth standing up and trying to speak for their future. And yet there is not the national media presence that you would feel that something this large and unified deserves. There have been so many scenes here around Chicago where we have been, where at many times we are the only national outlet there to bother lifting up these voices. And if you find the reporting work that we're doing important, please, for $5 a month, 16 cents a day, you can keep us on the ground doing this important work. And this is just such striking visuals out here. The unity of voice, of message being expressed by teenagers in this moment. Standing up saying, my federal government is not representing me. My federal government is victimizing me. My local leaders are not adequately standing up to support me in this moment, to support my family, to support our communities. And again, this was organized by teenagers in just 2 days. It's an impressive feat of organizing. They've got food, water, support for folks that need it. They've got people out here in vests helping manage the crowd, be sure everybody is protesting respectfully, peacefully. And it is really, even though what they are talking about is such a heavy topic emotionally, the disappearance of their friends, neighbors, family off the streets here in Cicero, in Chicago, and the surrounding areas. Their message out here has been one of joy and a real sense of optimism about the future, despite everything that they have had to live through here in their young lives. Thanks. So we've been moving around trying to find folks to interview and talk to out here, but there's a reason that it's proving a little challenging, and I wanted to walk you through it because it also speaks to the sophistication of the operation that the students out here have put together. They are being very cautious about who they have speak and under what circumstances because they are worried about students inadvertently identifying themselves or family members who might then become victims themselves of ICE. So that's why we're taking our time here, making sure that anybody we talk to is not going to directly then lead our reporting, inadvertently leading to somebody getting picked up by ICE or Border Patrol agents, because again, we're in the town of Cicero, which is one of the most heavily Hispanic communities in the state of Illinois, at around 90% Hispanic, and ICE has had a real presence out here in this community, patrolling in unmarked or disguised vehicles, grabbing people off the streets, and that sort of thing. So just if you're staying with us, you know, we're trying to get more folks to talk to out here. We're just trying to do so in a responsible manner. It's just to give you that little peek behind the curtain as to what we're doing. Also note that this protest was slated to begin at 10 a.m. Central Time. We showed up around 9:40, 9:45 or so, and it was already in full swing. And now it's only grown since then. We've now got demonstrators on at least 3 of the corners out here at the intersection of Cermak and 58th Avenue in the town of Cicero. And it's only gotten louder. Voices have continued to be raised up. I'll note, I want to talk about a little bit more about what we have coming up today. We're trying to keep an eye on our camera batteries because we have got a full slate today. After this, we are going to a different neighborhood in Chicago for a different protest that'll be at 2 o'clock. That protest is going to center on how the Trump administration should actually be investing in Chicago, in the people of Chicago, in a way that would actually help people, make them feel more safe, which is the excuse that the Trump administration has used to launch Operation Midway Blitz here in the Chicagoland area and target these communities, these heavily Hispanic communities, with ICE agents who are wearing face masks, unidentified vehicles patrolling around, making people feel like they can't walk down the street safely during the day or night here in these communities that have led to all of the protests that we have brought to you from the Broadview ICE facility here outside of town. So that protest at 2 o'clock, we will be live from there as well to lift up those voices of what the people here in the Chicagoland area say they actually need from their federal government in this moment, things that would actually support them, about ways that the mass of people, the working class in this country could actually be lifted up and supported and made to thrive if only the federal government had the right priorities in this moment. So that'll be at 2 o'clock. And then at 4 o'clock Central Time, we will be back at the Broadview ICE detention facility where we are expecting more protests this evening, as we have seen over the last several weeks. It was just 2 weeks ago today, 2 weeks ago on Saturday, where John was tear-gassed alongside of many of the protesters and other press, where folks are being shot with rubber bullets, with pepper balls. We'll be live. Now the state police has a heavy presence out there trying to handle crowd control and putting very strict limits on people's freedom of speech out there. We'll bring you that scene tonight at 4 o'clock Central Time. We'll be live for each of these. So for now, I want to thank you for having been with us so that we could show you this protest down here outside of J. Sterling Morton School District 210, where students have been protesting their local leaders, saying that they are not doing enough to help support families dealing with ICE agents in this moment. Oh, it seems like we're going to get one more interview before we go. One more interview. So I'll have a student. It's another student who's going to come out here and join us. You can stand right here for me, my man. Yeah. Okay. And your name is?
Nathan Scott.
Nathan Scott. Is normal spelling on those?
Yes.
Got it. And are you a student here at J. Morton?
Yes.
All right, so give us a little bit of sense of who you are. How old are you? What grade are you in?
I am a sophomore, and I am 15.
Sophomore, 15 years old. You're out here on a Saturday morning protesting rather than... what I keep coming back to with folks out here is this idea of like being a kid, like just going out, having fun with your friends. No doubt you got friends down here that you're able to spend some time with. So, but why? Why do you feel the need to be out here on a Saturday morning protesting?
I feel the need to be out here protesting because kids should not be worried about getting snatched up on the streets. I'm here so a change can hopefully happen.
So you say so kids don't have to worry about being snatched up off the street. Is that something that you're seeing in your communities right now?
That is something I have saw, yes.
Walk us through maybe one instance where you've seen that happen.
So I don't know where it was, but a white Chrysler van pulled up, I believe, and ICE agents started running out, trying to grab these people, and what happened after was the people started running, and they were scared.
When you're seeing that in your communities, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel scared because I wonder, am I next? Am I gonna go back home and see my family again?
A 15-year-old wondering, am I going to be next? Am I going to get to see my family? How do you learn under that stress? How do you just live under that stress? I mean, what are the ways in which you're coping right now, to the extent that maybe you even are?
I am coping, and I'm out here so a change can happen, and I'm out here so something happens.
Yeah. What are some of the what are some of the changes that you are hoping to see as a result of this protest and others like it?
I'm hoping to see a result that people aren't discriminated against, because that is a very big issue. And I'm also hoping that kids in our community isn't worried about being next and if they're able to see their family like me.
For people who aren't from the Chicagoland area, describe Cicero a little bit. What's it like to live here?
Cicero is a very nice community. We have a lot of Hispanic people, and it is a very nice community. Everyone is so nice and polite to each other, and us being out here right now just shows it.
What are some of the ways that you've seen your community change as a result of these ICE raids, of this increased pressure from the Trump administration?
More people are scared, including me. I never thought I would have to worry about going to school and not seeing my family again, but we're out here, we're worried, we're scared, we're all nervous, but no matter how scared or how nervous or afraid we all must stand strong together.
If you could deliver a message to ICE agents right now, what would you want them to hear? What would you want them to know about you, about your experience?
Stop tearing families apart. Families belong together. They do not belong in cells, and they do not belong somewhere else. They do not belong to be torn apart. They do not deserve that. Every person deserves a loving family.
Heard you talk about feeling scared, not knowing if you're going to be able to come home to your family after you leave for school. How does it make you feel to be surrounded by so many folks out here right now, all speaking with one voice?
It makes me realize just how strong we are, just how loving the community is, and it makes me realize that we can all make a change, but we must stand up and we must let it happen.
As you look forward into your future, you said you're 15 now. Look forward another 15 years. You're an adult out there in the world. How do you feel about this world that you're growing up into, this country that you stand to inherit? How are you feeling about the future right now? Optimistic, pessimistic? How does it feel?
I feel very scared for the future, considering we're out here right now having to protest. If it's like this now and a change doesn't happen, what will it look like in the future?
Yeah, and a big question that I don't know that anyone honestly has the answer to, and the fact that a 15-year-old has to wonder that about their future rather than focusing on just having fun with friends, doing whatever, anything at school that you enjoy to do.
Hanging out with family.
Yeah, hanging out with family, like not being able to really have a childhood in this moment. That the weight of that moment that is one of the themes that is like we've been out here reporting for weeks now. That's one of the things that's really gotten to my heart. So let's try and imagine a better future. What would you want to see from your leaders in this moment to respond to what the Trump administration is doing, or just to make you feel more safe? What could your leaders do?
I would not like to see people getting snatched up. I don't want people scared and worried about going home. People shouldn't be worried about having to go home or if they're going to be detained for no reason at all, really. And I would like to see a change happen for all of us, for the community, for everybody.
I end every interview, Nathan, with the same question, which is there any question I haven't asked you that I should have? Anything I haven't given you the opportunity to say that you would like to, or anything about your personal experience that I wouldn't necessarily know to ask about that I should have that would have been relevant to an interview like this?
I want to say that us as high schoolers, there's little kids here. We should not be protesting like this. We should be hanging out with family or hanging with our friends, but instead we're out here protesting. This is not right. A change has to happen. And if a change doesn't happen, it's only going to get worse from here.
Nathan, thank you very much for talking to us. I appreciate it. All right, thank you, man. Again, we've heard now from several students out here outside of J. Sterling Morton School District 201 in the town of Cicero, just outside Chicago. This is a heavily Hispanic community about the fear that they feel every day, not knowing if they are going to go home to their families at the end of the day. Are they going to be snatched up as somebody that they love, going to be snatched up off these streets, as we've seen happen repeatedly here in the Chicagoland area and across the country. So we are... Yoselin, I had one last question for you. This is Yoselin. We spoke earlier. For those of you who have joined us since we've interviewed Yoselin, very powerful voice, one of the organizers out here. We've seen you running around, directing everything out here. Seems like a lot to manage. The one question that I wanted to ask you that I did not was if you could deliver a message right now for ICE agents that they could hear, what would you want them to hear from you, from your friends, from your families out here, what would you want them thinking about in this moment?
I don't believe in using the word hate. Hate does not fit into my heart because what we need right now in the world is love. But what I do have to say to them is I would want them to reflect on their actions and really reflect, is this is what they want to do with their lives. If this is what they really want to do as an occupation, if this is like what they truly want to do, I want them to think about what they're doing right now, to actually sit down and not just think about politics, not just think about what you believe in, but about morality, about families out there, because so many people, even some of our own people, Latinos who work for ICE, I need them to think about everyone. I need them to think about community. I need them to think about community. So that probably be the number one thing I'd ask them is, do you believe you're doing good in the world? Is this what good is to you? That's what I ask them.
Jocelyn, thank you very much. Taking up so much of your time out here today, and it's a lot to manage. Has this met your expectations, or what?
Over-exceeded my expectations to so much, and I got so many questions when I first announced it that we only have 2 days to prepare. Why would you announce it on a Saturday? Why would you do this? Like there's only gonna be 10 people, and I told them now, I was like, it doesn't matter if it's only just me standing on this road right now, because I know I'm doing something good for our community, and that's what's making me feel good.
Jocelyn, thank you very much. I'll let you get back to managing the crowd. Appreciate you.
We're gonna keep it live. They're gonna march.
Oh, so the students are preparing to march. So we're gonna remain live here. We're actually not signing off. We're gonna remain live and actually show the students here as they march. They're starting to form up here outside of the district offices. You see some of them forming up here around me with signs. Many are gathering over here. John, if you swing the camera over that way, you see many gathering there underneath the overhang to the school district offices as they start to get themselves organized to start a march. Yeah, we're hearing 5 minutes until they march. Keep families safe, keep our youth safe, keep our future safe, keep ICE out of Cicero. Fuck ICE. Stand with our youth. No ICE in schools. With liberty and justice for all. These are the messages that teenagers are delivering to their local leaders, to their national leaders.
We cannot disrupt the flow of traffic. If we do, we are...
You hear there, Jocelyn is making the announcement not to go into the streets, that they do not disrupt the protesters, not disrupt the flow of traffic. There's been a lot of very clear communication and direction given to these protesters out here today. The organization among these students is quite impressive. The plan that I'm hearing is to march west down Cermak. It's that way.
That way?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to the front.
Yeah, we're going to make our way here to the front of the crowd. So you can see this march as it kicks off.
So there's 2 banners? Is it just 2? I have a third. Can we get the third? Okay.
Can I get 4 people to come hold up the banner for us to lead? Just come over here. Just come over here. 4 people.
Getting themselves organized to hold banners before they start the march.
Never mind. Okay, so people with the banners go in front. I need to say some quick things so everyone please silence
of course,
down.
Nathan.
We do not have a permit.
So we're back here with Nathan. Nathan, you said you had one last thing you wanted to tell our audience. What was it?
Yes, it is. If you're an adult and you have a job, you should not be afraid of speaking out and losing your job. You have a right to say something if you believe it is right or it is wrong. You should not be afraid of losing your job. Please stay safe out there. And together, we are strong.
Thank you very much, Nathan. I appreciate that.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, man. So that was a very profound and strong message delivered by a 15-year-old saying, if you're an adult, live by your values. Don't compromise. Stand up for humanity in this moment. I want to point out right now, so there were a few media outlets here. There was just like one local camera, one camera from Telemundo, and that was it. That was it for media. They have now gone, so far as I can tell, and it's just us. It is just us out here covering this. So if you value what we do, please subscribe. Please offer us $5 a month. StatusCoup.com/join. It's what keeps us on the ground, lifting up these voices, telling these stories. When everyone else is gone, Status Coup stays. We tell this story. You see this. Students now getting ready to march, just doing their lining up. Banners at the front.
Do not walk yet. I haven't stopped, Josie.
I'm just legal observing stuff. I'm not. Oh, you're not. Yeah, I'm not engaging with it.
If there's any adults who know their rights and who are willing to protect the kids walking down, please come over here and get a vest. Again, only adults who know their rights and who are willing to stand with us, please come get a vest.
See Cicero police talking to some of the folks here in the yellow vests who have been helping support the students.
Yes. I just asked for his name and badge number, and he's gonna give it to me. Oh no, I didn't know what was going on. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God! We are not splitting. I'm just going to be in the middle so I can make sure everyone's listening to what I'm saying.
If you're just joining us, this is outside of the school district offices for J. Morton School District 201 here in Cicero and some of the surrounding, that serves Cicero and some of the surrounding communities in Illinois. The town of Cicero is one of the most heavily Hispanic communities in the state of Illinois, and it has been heavily victimized by ICE agents over the last several weeks as the Trump administration has ramped up its Operation Midway Blitz, which is a immigration crackdown here in the Chicagoland area, where they've been disappearing people off of the streets, snatching up folks, breaking apart families. And we've heard today from the voices of these teenagers. These are high school students who organized this protest, talking about how they don't feel like they get to have a childhood, talking about how they are scared to that they may not come home, or that their family members may not come home at the end of the day because they'll be snatched up by ICE, profiled just because of the color of their skin, where they live, where they work, and disappeared into the immigration system. We're expecting the students now to march. They've been protesting here along Cermak Road, which is a main drag here through Cicero. They've been protesting for, about the last 2 hours. And now we're expecting them to march. Organizers telling me that this is this turnout, this level of energy that they are seeing, it exceeded their wildest expectations, as they are demanding that their local leaders do more to step up in this moment and support them, support families of the school district that are being victimized by ICE. Hearing the cheers go up from there from the crowd as we heard folks driving by lay on horns. And the march has started, marching down Cermak Road. See the students holding all of their signs aloft, the messages that they are attempting to deliver to federal leaders, to their local leaders. And you feel the energy out here. From what we had heard from organizers of this protest, a march was not planned, but they just felt that they had so much energy out here. This crowd that they were able to gather was so significant, looking for an outlet for that energy, now turning it into a march so that more of their community can see them out here, amplify their voice, amplify their impact. You hear the honking of the horns, cheering of the crowd in support of this march, and the anti-ICE messaging saying that federal Department of Homeland Security officials not welcome in this community.
up here and get to the next.
Sure. So the students are continuing their march down Cermak. We have to wrap up. We have to be cognizant of our camera battery, of our time, of our energy here, because this is one of just 3 different protests that we are going to be live covering today. The next one is at 2 o'clock Central Time. It's in a different neighborhood of Chicago, where we will be hearing from Chicagoans about ways that the federal government, if it actually cared about the people that lived here in the state of Illinois, in the Chicagoland area, how it could actually help those people through robust government services, through taxing billionaires, and we'll bring you that at 2 o'clock. And then at 4 o'clock tonight, we will be live outside of the Broadview ICE detention facility, where there's been now several Saturday evening protests where we've seen ICE agents, Department of Homeland Security officials use force against protesters, and we've also seen now the insertion of the Illinois State Police out there, and the limiting of free speech rights out in that area, trying to limit interactions between protesters and ICE agents. We'll be live out there starting at 4 o'clock Central Time. If you've been with us this entire time, thank you so much. We appreciate it. If you appreciate this on-the-ground look at this reporting, I'll note no other media outlets out here right now. It's just us. If you support the work that we are doing, lifting up these voices, $5 a month goes to keep us on the ground here in Chicago and in other places where stories are going uncovered, untold, that are important, that need to be lifted up. Go to StatusCoup.com/join. That is StatusCoup.com/join. $5 a month goes so far. You have no idea how grateful it makes me, it makes John, it makes our whole team that you would support our journalism and support our work in this time. It's important to support independent media, because in a lot of instances we are the only ones there on the ground. National outlets parachute in and out. A lot of corporate outlets keep their cameras far back from the action, don't actually show you what it's like on the ground. So any support you can offer us, we greatly appreciate. And if you are a subscriber, know that I am so very grateful that we have your support. So here in the town of Cicero, for Status Coup News, I'm JT Siskowski. Thank you for joining us.
And respect for everybody. Everybody is human. Not only wrestling. I come back with your